Greenpeace has today shut 50 garages in London. We want BP to change their strategy, not just their boss. They promised years ago to move beyond petroleum, and what they need to do today is decide that that's exactly what they're going to do. Up until now, under the leadership of Tony Hayward, they've been going into, for example, the tar sands in Canada, they've been going into the Arctic, they've been going into the deep waters of the Gulf where we've seen the catastrophic oil spill. We need them to get out of these high-risk investments. They're a huge threat to the natural environment, as well as having huge impacts on the climate. And we need to get them into cleaner fuels, into renewable energy. They basically need to change their investment strategy.
The US Navy is big. Like, really, really big. It's got some 290 ships, thousands of aircraft, and probably tens of thousands of small boats and launches. And apart from a few nuclear-powered carriers and submarines, all of them need fuel, either from a fleet of 15 so-called oilers or fuel ships, or from bases dotted around the world. But the Navy's just announced a technology which is pretty much the holy grail for any global task force. It's managed to perfect the creation of fuel, which is something they need, from seawater, which is something they have no shortage of at all. What's even better, from a military perspective, is that it doesn't require any modification of the ship's engines. You aren't getting a liquid hydrogen fuel out of the mix that needs a fuel cell to operate. You're getting a highly efficient hydrocarbon-based fuel, like gasoline, that can power both ships and aircraft. Although so far the only plane it's powered is this Model 1 at the US Naval Research Laboratory. Small steps though, eh? Here's the science bit. Salt water is passed through an electrically charged cell, which causes the seawater to swap hydrogen ions produced at the anode with sodium ions. At the cathode, the water is reduced to hydrogen gas and sodium hydroxide. The end result is CO2 gas and hydrogen, which are then passed through a heated chamber with an iron catalyst in it, which causes them to combine into long-chain hydrocarbons, that is, fuel and methane gas, which can be siphoned off and used elsewhere. The fuel can then be refined into jet fuel if needed in another nickel-based catalyst. Science bit over. It's predicted to cost around $3 to $6 a gallon to produce. That's about as much as fuel costs at the pump in the US right now. And whilst installing distillation equipment on hundreds of US ships might be expensive, the savings from not having to operate the oiler fleet or get fuel to bases around the world, or from fluctuating prices, will likely run into the billions every year. So what's the downside? Well, it's not the most eco-friendly solution. Methane is a useful fuel, but a potent greenhouse gas if it's not completely burnt. And even if it is burnt, the whole lot will produce CO2, just like burning any other liquid or gas fuel does. But that's not a new problem, nor is saving the environment the Navy's job. They prefer to save people from the environment, or sometimes destroy it with bombs. At any rate, there are an estimated 80 to 100,000 ships in the world and over 250,000 planes, so the Navy's emissions are a bit of a drop in the ocean. Pardon the pun. The military's already working with a number of partners on commercialising the tech, and it's estimated it'll be finding its way onto US warships within a decade. If you like this video or want to see more of what Genius does, then check out some of the videos to my side right now and click that big old subscribe button down the bottom or somewhere over there so you don't miss out on any of the other stuff we're doing.
With the rise of gas prices and an increased dependency on automobile transportation, it's no wonder that alternative fuel solutions are being explored and developed. Among them is the use of supplemental hydrogen, or oxyhydrogen, a safe, practical, and affordable method of improving your fuel efficiency. Supplemental hydrogen is produced using a generator specifically designed to extract the hydrogen and oxygen from the water. This gas is then directed to your vehicle's air intake system. Hydrogen is added to the air mixture, causing it to burn easily and powerfully, while the oxygen increases the octane value of your fuel. When put to the test on both foreign and domestic vehicles, compact to workhorse, gasoline and diesel, and generators used commonly with industrial construction, oxyhydrogen pulls more than its weight. Most importantly, however, it proves itself to be a practical, reliable, and safe way of saving fuel, safer than gasoline, diesel, or natural gas. When hydrogen is burned, only water is produced. According to user reports, oxyhydrogen will stretch your fuel dollar by an average of 15 to 28%. During a recent test of a 4,000 watt diesel light pole generator, we reduced fuel consumption from 1 gallon per hour to less than half a gallon per hour while operating under full load. In addition to saving fuel, the oxyhydrogen generator will clean up the carbon buildup in your engine, increasing horsepower and allowing it to run smoother and more efficiently. Finally, the greenhouse gas emissions from your engine will be greatly reduced, making your vehicle or equipment environmentally friendly to use on a daily basis. Save Fuel is dedicated to bringing you the safest, most reliable, and affordable way of reducing your fuel expenses. Great care is taken in testing, proving, and optimizing the oxyhydrogen units for use in a wide variety of vehicles and equipment. If your vehicle operates on an internal combustion engine and uses gasoline, liquid petroleum gas, or diesel, it will benefit from oxyhydrogen. In addition, the oxyhydrogen system is designed to allow for self-installation, proving to be as easy to install as your car stereo. 98% of customers install this system on their own.
Gas prices so high, many people and businesses too are looking for ways to save on gas. We found one police department experimenting with a new device. News 4's Sharon Johnson with how it's working. Sharon.
Well, you profiled this water for gas system last week, but one police department in the upstate has been looking at this for months. Now they're using it.
It looks like a regular SUV, but it's not. Misleading because it's an undercover Honeypath police vehicle, and also because it's running on something experimental.
People laugh at you for trying some things, but if you don't try, you don't know.
Honeypath Police Department has just 6 cars and a few officers and doesn't have a big budget for a large gas bill, so they're using water for gas.
Yeah, we've had a few snickers from some people in town that just don't believe it, and naturally I was skeptical of it when the mayor would talk about it.
He's talking about the water for gas system. You build it and attach it to the engine. It then produces hydrogen and oxygen, or what the water for gas people call HHO. It's supposed to give you better gas mileage.
You know, the numbers speak for themselves. 6 to 8 miles per gallon is a pretty good number, pretty good increase. So,
they discussed it for 6 months before trying it out, now planning to put the HHO system on all Honeypath town cars.
I had done research on it, and with the situation like it is, and you and our fuel costs is so going up so high, that I felt like I had to do something to try to save the taxpayers' money here in our town.
The mayor's even putting it on his personal car.
The town of Honea Path is also considering using vegetable oil, used vegetable oil, converted to diesel fuel for their larger vehicles. The mayor says that they're looking for all kinds of ways to save taxpayers some money.